The Maine Commission on Public Defense Services has filed their plan for how they will provide continuous legal representation to people who are charged with a crime. This comes after a Kennebec County Superior Court judge issued an order for the Maine Commission on Public Defense Services to release their plan by April 3rd, which was yesterday. In January, a judge ruled the state had denied the constitutional rights of many of its criminal defendants. In their filing, the MCPDS suggests several short-term remedies along with long-term solutions. They include increased outreach, working with private law firms and universities to bring in externs in the future, and incentives for lawyers to go back on the roster. They say attorneys will not be given more than 5 cases from a single court in one day, and they are asking prosecutors to reevaluate cases with the lower level offenses. When it comes to long-term solutions, the organization asked for more funding. Council meets on April 7th.